Hello and welcome to the demonstration by Derby and Nottingham Sling Library for a close Caboo. The model I will be using is a close Caboo Lite that we'll use today. So firstly I will demonstrate popping it on and then popping little one in. So, close Caboos come in two parts. One, which is the main body of the carrier, which you can see here. And the other part is a panel piece that we tie round afterwards. So for now, I'm going to pop the panel piece to one side and start with the main body of the carrier. The main body of the carrier has got a pre-sewn cross piece on the back with the Caboo logo on it, and is secured and held tight by two sets of rings on either side, or a set of rings on either side, and we use those to tighten and loosen to secure little one. When popping a Caboo on, when it's pre-threaded, we start with the cross and the label facing towards us so that we can read it. And as you hold the sling up, you can see there are three gaps. So your left arm is going to go through the left gap, right arm through the right gap, and your head will go through the middle, just like popping a t-shirt on. Then, as you can see, there is a cross on the front, and we have our cross in the middle of our back. And as you can see here, there is quite a bit of space for little one to go in. What we're going to do is we are going to tighten this up to make the gap here smaller, so it is suitable for the size of your little one. We do that by taking the fabric that is the other side of the rings, on the loose open side, and we pull that forward, and that tightens through those rings to pull this fabric in. And we're going to do the same on the other side to bring that fabric in. And we're aiming for enough space to get little one in here. The advantage with a close Caboo is that once little one is in, we can tighten up the rings each side or loosen them off if we've got it too tight. So close Caboo is now on, and we're ready for little. So I'm going to take my little one, and there's two layers of fabric. We're going to pop little one up onto the top layer of fabric, onto that shoulder. We're going up onto my shoulder. If this isn't your dominant shoulder, you can swap these round by taking them out from the rings and feeding them back in the other way round. So popping them up on your shoulder, we're going to collect the leg from underneath the layer by your shoulder that they're not on. Your hand goes in, collects the first leg, sits that into the back of the knee, and we slide them across and down, starting to create the M shape support. We then move our hand across, reach inside the other layer that's closest to us, move it around that knee, and again into the back of the knee. So we've now got little one sat with that M position, knees higher than the bum. They are secured from falling down at this point. They can just flop away, so we're going to keep one hand on their back at this point. We're then going to move back to the first side that we pop them in and find that leading edge that's closest to your neck and feed it diagonally across underneath their bum into the nape of their neck. So it goes from the nape of the neck to the back of the knee on the opposite side, leaving all the spare fabric in the back of this first knee. We're then going to swap hands and do the same on the other side. Again, nape of the neck, back of the knee. What we can then do is, if this is tight enough, we can carry on and do a pelvic tilt. If it's not, the advantage with a close caboo is we can tighten the bits up that we need to. So we can feed different rails through the rings to get them tight, or we can feed it all if we need to tighten up the whole side. So once they are secure, we can remove hands and we can put them inside to do a pelvic tilt. So what the pelvic tilt does is 4 quite key things. Secures their knees higher than their bum in the end position. 2, deep seats their hip sockets into their pelvis for the optimal hip and pelvis development. 3, puts a curve on their lower spine for their optimal position for their spinal development. And then 4, in turn, stabilizes the top of their spine to stop their head flopping away. And the way we do that is we reach inside the carrier directly onto their clothes or their skin. Put your little fingers into the back of their knees, index fingers around onto their bum, thumbs will go in the groin at the front, and we're going to tip away like pouring a big glass of water down the sink. Popping hands in, knees come up, bum goes down. They're in that close enough to kiss position. We then can take the 3rd layer and pop that on. So, 3rd layer of a close caboo. I'm going to take it to the nape of their neck, take it all the way round behind and secure with a double knot. Anything we tie with a double knot. And secure that in place. So we're going to go again from the nape of the neck to the back of the knees. Once little one is in and secure, we're now going to do the 3 sets of checks. We're going to do a baby safety check, a baby comfort check, and then our comfort check. So a baby safety check is 2 fingers between the chin and their chest to keep their airway open. We're also going to check they've got a good supply of fresh air by spreading this shoulder pass, so they've got a good supply of fresh air getting to their face and their face isn't covered. Again, we can flip the shoulder if we want to. The next stage is baby comfort checks. We're going to check they've got access to their hands on each side, and we're going to check that all the fabric is smooth down their spine and spare fabric is into the back of their knees and their lower legs are out and free to move. We're then going to look at our comfort. So, as we've already spread one side, we can spread the shoulder of the other side to spread over our shoulders and help keep away from our neck. But because there's a cross at the back, we can't spread anymore over our back. So it's just the spreading on the shoulders to help for our comfort here. There we are, that's a little one in the close caboo. Pieces of fabric that are dangling down by the sides, because they are secured through the 2 sets of rings, we don't need to do anything else with them. If you wanted to stop them trailing around, if you are particularly short, you can loosely tie them so they just sit out the way. As you can see, just dangling there. You can pop them in your pockets, go and tie them behind your back, just again loosely so that they're up out the way. But you don't need to secure them in any other way because they are naturally secured through the rings. Taking little one out of the close caboo, we're going to undo this 3rd panel, do that knot, and pop that panel piece to one side. We're now going to keep one hand on their back and open this cross up so it again sits into the back of their knees. Once it's there, we're going to do one hand on their back, one hand on their bum, lean forward slightly, lift them up and out. The reason why we keep one hand on their bum and one hand on their back is it's supporting the two heaviest parts of their body. We also can, as we pull them out, if we feel their legs get caught, because our hands are there into the back of their knees, we can feel that they get caught at this point. If they do, we can remove one leg at a time and then reverse the process we did to pop them in. There we go. That is popping on and off a close Caboo. If you now take this off carefully, this will be pretty much set for next time. So if you can feed your arms through and take it off over your head, providing you're the only one wearing it, that is going to stay pretty much the same place. So there'll only be minimal adjustments you need to do next time. Or you can pop it on, leave it on, pop little one in and out as you need to. So there we are. That was a close Caboo Lite demonstration by Derby and Nottingham Sling Library. Thank you.